Today, we've got the brand new for 2025 Quantum Cabo. So this reel was just re-released at ICAST this past, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, something like that. And this thing came out and won Best New Saltwater Reel, and that's for really good reason. So in this video, we're gonna go through everything you need to know about this reel, all the specs, all the features, all the technology in it. We're gonna get it up close in the hand and talk about how it feels and really just give it a whole breakdown. So before we get into any of that, guys, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I sound like a broken record, but like 80 to 90% of you guys that watch are not subscribed. Super, super easy, super free, and it is a huge help to the channel. So please take a second and subscribe down below. So with that, let's get right into this reel. So when I think Cabo, I think of early 2000s, 2003, 2004, something like that. I think this reel was introduced initially back then, and it quickly became like a super popular tarpon reel in that 6,000, 8,000 size. I don't know exactly what their nomenclature for size was back then. Might have been, 6,000, kind of like what we're used to in that. But then I remember like in 2014, the PT series came out and totally redesigned. And at that time in 2014, the look of it was so different and unique from just about anything else on the market. The handle design, the technology in it, it was really, really amazing at the time. So this reel's just been sitting there since 2014 with no fresh introductions, no fresh updates with it. That is until 2025. So they just totally revamped this reel. This is part of their kind of moving away from freshwater, diving headfirst into saltwater mindset that they've got now. And so this reel's super exciting. If you've seen my other Quantum videos, the Straw, I think it's an incredible reel. The Merit that's coming out very soon as well, the price point budget reel. They've really come a long way, and I really, really like their stuff, and the value you get in their stuff is amazing. The Cabo here is their flagship, so you're at $249 kind of starting price, goes up a little bit from there. So this reel comes in sizes of 2,500 all the way through 8,000. And that sounds like a good range, but in their larger sizes, the 8,000 is equivalent to like a 14K plus of other brands. So you really cover everything like this 2,500 can do, the snook, trout, redfish, flounder, cobia, things like that, moving up through the range, all the way up to some really, really big game spinning type fish, some of the tuna, things like that, sailfish, whatever. I mean, you can really cover just about anything you would ever need to do with a spinning reel with this series. So let's go over some of the features and technologies in this thing to kick this video off. So you can see right on the rotor, right there, C-Lock 8. What does that mean? C-Lock is what they're calling their water resistance technology, and 8 signifies this is an IPX8 rated reel. So IPX8 basically means this thing can be submerged up to a meter. There's no like big time frame on there. It's not something that you should just go diving and swimming with. Even the Van Stalls, they say they can be submerged. That's great. It's awesome to have that, but that's 100% not recommended. But if this thing took a dunk, took a wave over you on the beach, you dropped it and just quickly got it out of the water, this thing's gonna be totally fine against that. So the body, the drag, all of the pieces of this reel are gonna be IPX8 rated. And the gearing in this reel is their Gear Tech technology. So you've got machine gears in this thing, nothing cast. Machine just gives you a heck of a lot better product, something that's gonna last a very long time and give you tons of cranking power. Then in the drag, you've got their CFX 200 drag system, so full carbon drag system. We'll get into the full capacity later on, but this thing is ultra, ultra strong, and it's extremely smooth. And then let's talk about cast tech real quick. This is something new with Quantum. Shimano is the only one I'm aware of that has something similar to this, but look at the oscillation. It's nice and slow. Not quite as slow as Infinity Loop from Shimano, but just take a quick look. This is the Merit, just for oscillation purposes. You can see how much faster the Merit oscillates. Again, this is a $100 reel. Look at that. So I love this. I really got to know this personally with Stella FK and then Twin Power FE with Shimano. You can got videos on those two reels if you want to see those. But this helps an absolute ton with casting ability. So basically what's going on is that spool is moving slower up and down. So whenever line's laying on it, the wraps of line are just way closer together on the spool. So that's two big things. I know I've preached one of those, which is casting, but it just really makes sure that line doesn't have to jump up and down super fast when it's coming off the spool. So that's, again, that's twofold. That's casting. That's also when line's being pulled out of the reel, you know, when you're pulling on a fish and the fish is pulling drag off the reel. That really just helps keep the drag system smooth. Line's not getting under wrapped on itself. It's just very neatly laid on the spool, and this makes a gigantic difference. So I'm super happy to see that in this reel. Almost forgot. Full metal body, full metal side plate. This thing's ultra rigid. Not the lightest thing in the world, but that's not the situation that Quantum is going after with really any of their reels at this point. They're going after ultimate toughness, ultimate longevity, which I really appreciate. The facts are that just usually creates a reel that's a little bit heavier, but this is not something that's gonna budge on you. It's super tight, super heavy duty. It's gonna last a long time. So that's the main features, the technology is going on here. So now let's hit the specs. Like I said, this thing comes in 2500 all the way through 8000. The reel they sent me to take a look at is a 2500 size. So all the specs we're gonna talk about here are gonna be for this 2500 size. So this reel has 7 bearings. It retrieves 33 inches of line per crank, and that is a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio. It weighs 9.9 ounces. Has 25 pounds of drag. It holds 275 yards of 10-pound braid. And like I said, the price is $249 in this size. So now let's get this thing a little closer in the hand and see how it feels. All right, so here we are in the hand. And first thing is a little bit of weight. Quantum's not afraid to have a little weight here. But for a super tough reel like this, I don't think you should be either. If you want something ultra light, this is not that type of reel. Ultimate toughness is kind of the name of the game here. But overall feel is good. It's very good. So the handle is kind of an enlarged paddle style. It's kind of an EVA foam, I think, is the material on it. I like the feeling. I like the size of it. Yeah, a little oversized for a 2500, but I like that. So some startup inertia there. The feel's good. So I like the feel of it. Definitely feel some of these super sealed reels have a little bit of resistance on the handle, kind of all the way through the movement. I've got a little bit of that. It doesn't feel bad by any means. It's just not the lightest rotational feel in the world. But again, it's really hard to make a reel, you know, as watertight as something like this and ultra smooth. I mean, look at the feel of the Van Stalls, for instance. They're not. You don't buy them for the smoothness. You buy them for the toughness and for the water repellent, you know, abilities of it. I like the oversized drag knob there. You know, it just really puts you in control of the drag system and all that power there. Now let's feel the bail. Bail feels good. I like that click back. It lets you know it's all the way back. Nicely assisted coming forward. Now let's hear the drag. Let me back it off. Pretty quiet. You're definitely gonna know it's moving, but it's definitely a little quiet, which, you know, just sounds totally fine there. But yeah, it feels great. Feels very heavy duty there. And it just looks great. I love that classic, you know, Quantum look, that blue, the silver, the black. It's just super classy looking. They didn't overdo the blue, but it's definitely there. So yeah, very good looking and feeling real. So that's pretty much everything you need to know. I'm super excited about this thing. This thing does have big shoes to fill with how good the 2014 PT series Cabos were, but I think this thing is off to a great start with that. I love the increased size options there. We're a little limited on sizing in 2014. Now we're pretty much unlimited, pretty much as small as you would want to go to as big as you want to go. We've got things covered. Not the lightest thing on the market. Again, super tough. Feels great. It looks great. I think this is a great option for those of you that bait fish, maybe a little more than artificial. Something, you know, where it's not necessarily going to be in your hand all day, every day. That weight of this maybe is going to get to you a little bit at some point. But if you're bait fishing, you're not casting as much. It's more of just holding and waiting. Depending on how good at fishing you are, it could be just throwing out catching one after another. But honestly, it's not always like that. So it's a lot of just sitting there and holding it. As long as you're not waving it through the air, throwing artificials all day, I don't think the weight's going to get to you. People that kayak fish, I think this is an absolutely awesome option. To get the ceiling that this thing has in it for that price, in the kayak context, you really need water resistance when you're in a kayak. To those of you watching, let me know what you fish down there. I think this is gonna be a great option because you're so close to the water down there. You're taking splash, you're taking spray from time to time, and things just happen when you're that close to the water. So I think it's gonna be a great option for that, as well as some surf application from the beach. I think this is gonna be a great reel for situations like that. But let me know what you guys think down below. Is this something that you've got your eye on? Did you have the old one? Are you going from something completely different? Let me know down in the comments. As soon as these become available, which is gonna be extremely soon, we'll have links down in the description. I think it's gonna be a great reel, so keep watching down below. That's it, guys. We appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like the video if this was helpful for you and subscribe to the channel. And with that, we'll catch you in the next one.